Hi, I'm Pam at tamborazul.com with my drum of cosmogony, the Damaru. And tambor azul can be blue drum, but it also can mean tambora zulu, the last drum. There's always layers of meaning with the Enki, the father of Eve, Ea, also known as Sam, Yosemite Sam, Uncle Sam, the Samsung option. He's got nuclear weapons buried everywhere, under the Three Gorges Dam in China, that the Canadian engineers helped design. I've been told he's gone rogue. It's like my travels around the world to the hot spots. It's like I'm doing a reverse Horcrux on him. I had to look that up. I didn't know it. Are we doing a figure skating move now? I mean, I've got clairaudience, but sometimes I'm told things I don't even, or even in different languages, I gotta look them up. So I looked up. I'm not even clear on Horcrux. But it's been really hard on him here. He was conceived out of hate. Black Isis was a humpback whale. I like to sing like Sly and the Family Stone. Isis was a rapist whale, that she was ever Osiris' wife's a tall tale. It wasn't till when he died that she stole his seed and set sail. The whale star Helios invaded the Sirian area that this planet was part of, destroyed the beautiful garden planet, Mars, and is bent on destroying this one. We gotta stand up. As tribrids, we gotta stand up for our true mother, Tara Aria. And it's us of all colors. And she raped the dying King Obabar, the Lion King, that was guarding the gate, the golden gate of Orion. Like in the world according to Garp, when men die, they'll have an erect penis. Now they've rewritten the myth. The winners tell the tale. The winners hold the narrative. The pleiadeans and the sirians have been inverting and perverting things like crazy. She got the seed. I love whales and dolphins, but there's a real rape culture there. Every dolphin is conceived in gang rape. Now the griffins have the power of mind control, so it wouldn't have been a huge leap for the Lion King, who saw what was going down. Who saw how power crazy his wife had become, the Orion Queen. And I believe that the King of Babar said, that's it. I'm pulling the plug on this. Lady, I'm not coming home. You've sucked all the life out of my children, our children. You treat me like garbage. You hear all about the Orion Queen group. You don't really hear about the Orion Kings, do you? They were just used and abused. It was the complete nadir or apex of female power gone wrong, completely power hungry. And the thing with etheric dragons is they're great matchmakers, like great horse breeders, great breeders of peony trees and irises, like in Japan and China and that before the wars. And so he was looking for talent. He knew he was going to pull the plug. He was going to stop protecting the queen. She'd become too corrupt, too evil. And he looked out there and he saw, okay, Sirius is the brightest star. It's the bravest, strongest soldier. The next is Canopus. And Canopus is the Tillman for the Scorpion. Constellation, that's Menelaus. Now, the Iliad, in the inversion of truth, blame the victim. They tell us that Helen of Troy was robbed, was raped from the Greeks. No. Menelaus was the red-haired. He's the red star at the heart of Scorpion. He was the red-haired brother of Agamemnon, the younger brother. Troy, Turkey, was raped and pillaged in his name. Scorpio is the sign of the big banksters. Isura El. Now, the King Ubabar, this is where it gets to be hilarious. You have got to have a sense of humor for this. We have all been played. He sees talent. So they've been chosen. But it wasn't exactly by God. He wants talent. He's looking for dragon slayers, the dragon ladies. And the Sirians and the Scorpions are in the mix. We're going to be contenders when we get back to the light. And I hope they're mostly gone. I mean, there's just such carnage out on the battlefield. But, it's hilarious. And I just had this epiphany in the lunar eclipse of Pisces. I mean, that. My whole time in Panama, I've been here like 3 years. I came in thinking, I'm so proud, I'm a hybrid, I'm Sirian. I've got a lot of Orion from the Austro-Hungarian from both sides. But I looked at the Pleiadians, it's like, well, sometimes they get things done well, but they're such addicts. I mean, they might get you home, or you may end up dead in the ditch or in a Chappaquiddick or something. You can't really trust them. They're unreliable because of their addictions. And it's the Sirians who are running the drugs, the alcohol, the prostitutes to them. Just like down here, the young soldiers get messed up with that. That's how the Sirians help keep their power over everything, keep everybody off kilter. That's what's happening here. Shutting things down with COVID in Niagara, all these new cannabis stores opening. I knew who was in control. The Athenian Greek. And that's one of the things that the real Jesus taught. He said, if you don't stop sacrificing your firstborn son, doing the cannibalism and the baby, munching the babies, running the drugs, running the alcohol, running the weapons. If you don't stop, there's not going to be a brick on top of another in 2 or 3 generations in Jerusalem. They didn't listen. And so it was. We are being asked to do something that Jesus didn't get done. It just wasn't time. We needed to be mixed more. We're here to learn what makes us miserable and what makes us happy. It's the school of finding how we can get our hearts light as a feather. We'll get to choose. It's like we've been in a torture chamber, but we've got to make sure we know how to make the right choices to make ourselves happy. And that was one of the things, too, that made Christianity special. When you got baptized in the River Jordan as a Christian, and if you couldn't make it to the River Jordan, they'd bring a jar of water to you. It was free. And you'd be baptized and you would be given a white pebble from the River Jordan. And when the Roman taxman came by, you showed the white pebble. You're a Christian. You do not have to pay tax. Because Jesus said it's immoral. What's being done here in the Malachian cult, it's immoral. And it's immoral to support a corrupt system with your tax dollar. It was a tax dodge. Christianity was one big tax dodge. And of all the things that Jesus did, I mean, he was teaching the women to be rabbis and all stuff. He was a rebel. That hurt. They wanted rid of him a lot. And I mean, women, slaves, anybody could be a Christian. The other big religion at the time in the Roman Empire was Mithras. You had to be male and in the Roman army, and you had to be rich enough to afford to buy a bull, a big black bull. And you get to be baptized in the blood of a bull, freshly cut. Completely different. So being a good Christian, if you can, you try and not pay into the corrupt system. And they run us yet. Jesus didn't shut them down 1 inch. Every war's been fought to keep the drug lines, the pedophilia, sex slaves, the wars of weapon. A lot of money in that, like the Adnan Khoshoggis. They're running the world. And if you're wealthy and elite enough, you get to enjoy the homoerotic pottery in the basement of the Ashmolean Museum in Oxford. Whoop-dee-doo-dah-day. We got to move on to a higher paradigm. It's time. Amen. Aten.